Breaking: Federal judge orders Susan Rice to answer questions on Clinton case. Conservative watchdog group Judicial Watch scored a major win when federal judge Royce Lamberth ruled that Obama officials including Susan Rice and Ben Rhodes must answer questions regarding the Clinton email case. Judge Royce Lamberth was appointed by Ronald Reagan. A federal judge has breathed new life into questions surrounding former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server and the 2012 attack that killed U.S. officials in Benghazi, Libya. Judge Royce Lamberth ruled Tuesday that Obama administration officials, including National Security Advisor Susan Rice and Deputy National Security Advisor Ben Rhodes, must answer written questions as part of a conservative judicial advocacy group's Freedom of Information Act lawsuit against the State Department over Clinton's emails. The lawsuit by Judicial Watch, now with the U.S. Court of Appeals District of Columbia Circuit, was first filed in 2014 in an effort to obtain records related to Clinton and her staff's response to the Benghazi attack. Specifically, the group sought documents about Rice's explanation immediately after the attack on the U.S. compound that characterized it as a protest turned violent instead of a deliberate terrorist assault. At the time of the attack, Rice was serving as the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. But the case has since expanded to question the motives behind Clinton's private email use while secretary and behind the government's conduct in this litigation, Lamberth wrote in his Tuesday order. Judicial Watch claims that Clinton intentionally used her private email server in an attempt to shield her communications from FOIA requests and that the State Department acted deceptively and did not really try to complete the request. Lamberth, who was appointed to his seat by former President Ronald Reagan, ruled that Judicial Watch can depose the State Department on the development of Rice's talking points for her media appearances, the advanced dissemination or discussion of those talking points, the aftermath of Rice's appearances and State Department officials' evolving understanding of the Benghazi attack. Rice's talking points and State's understanding of the attack play an unavoidably central role in this case, he argued. Lamberth said questions about those issues could uncover unsearched, relevant records and shed light on Clinton's motives for shielding her emails from FOIA requesters. The judge approved the submission of written questions to Rice and Rhodes, who helped develop Rice's talking points. But he rejected Judicial Watch's request to depose the two former Obama officials in person. Lamberth agreed with government lawyers' objection that Judicial Watch can't appoint itself as a freelance inspector general and conduct its own investigation into the Benghazi affair. But that's not what Judicial Watch does here, he wrote. Though Judicial Watch cannot helm a fishing expedition trawling anything and everything concerning the Benghazi attack, he ruled it can depose the State Department on subjects related to its FOIA request. 4 Americans, including U.S. Ambassador Christopher Stevens, were killed in the September 11, 2012, attack on the U.S. diplomatic mission in Benghazi. During appearances on Sunday morning talk shows that weekend, Rice said that based on the information available at the time, the attack appeared to be a spontaneous reaction and a copycat of a protest against the U.S. Embassy in Cairo. The Cairo protest and others in Islamic nations were sparked in response to a published online by an American that Muslims considered offensive to their religion. Critics said Rice, Clinton and other government officials intentionally deceived the public about the nature of the attack, which they knew was perpetrated by terrorists and was not about the video. Those critics believe the deception was designed to avoid the perception that the administration failed to prevent a terrorist attack less than 2 months before voters went to the polls in the closely fought 2012 election. Obama administration officials attributed the initial confusion over the cause of the attack to the fog of war. Numerous congressional investigations were conducted into the lack of preparation for the attack and the administration's responses, including a House Select Committee that spent 2 years looking into the affair.